In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the flat slip stitch to join these two granny squares. It's one of my favorite ways to join squares and it's pretty easy. So to get started, I'm going to take my two squares, a 5mm hook, which is the size that I use to crochet these, and the yarn that I'm going to be joining them with. I'm using red for contrast, just so it's a little bit easier to see, but you would typically just use the yarn that you used throughout the rest of your project. So to get started, I'm going to make a slip knot and place that on my hook. I am going to have my squares laying right side up. Before you start, you want to locate the middle of your corner. So for these granny squares, I did a chain 1 in the corners, so I'm going to find that chain 1, which is right here. I'm going to insert my hook into the front loop of this chain 1. I'm going to move my yarn to be in the middle, and then I'm going to find the chain 1 on the next square and insert my hook into that back loop. So with the squares laying flat, this is what it should look like. I am then going to pull the middle yarn all the way through. Now that I've got that yarn attached, I'm going to do the same thing that I just did to join them. So front loop on the right side, and then go in through the back loop on the left side and pull through. So again, I'm going front loop on the right side, back loop on the left side, pulling through. And it's important to make sure that you're keeping this working yarn in the middle. So I'm going to go all the way up my squares, working between the two sides. So I'm getting pretty close to the end here, so I'm going to continue working in front loop on one side and back loop on the other until I reach the corner on the top of the two squares. So again, that's the chain 1 in the corner. So I'm going to do the same thing. Pull through. And this is how it should look when you're finished. So it's a nice flat seam all the way down. To finish, I'm just going to chain and then cut, leaving a tail to be woven in at the end. So that is how to flat slip stitch.